Hello everyone, I'm Beatrice Tushimile. Today I'm going to present to you the responses to the questions I'm working on the project called Government and You. So the first question asks, what are the three branches of the government? Here I was supposed to use the interviewees because they are the ones who are going to respond for the question. Then after I will be giving the correct answers. Let's first hear from what the interviewees say about the first question.
Hi, I'm Beatrice. I'm Edu. Yeah, thank you. So I have a service that I want you to give me. So I'm working on a project. So I can need for you some information. So I'm Beatrice Tushimile. I'm a student in Bachelor's of Arts program with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. And I'm conducting this interview as a part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in a project called Government and You. And I am working on a goal called on the goal called Contribute to Society. So the interview will be used to record, will be used to create Government and You, and it will be submitted at College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This record will be used solely for this purpose. So the interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system, to which only the evaluator and the College for America staff will have access. So, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, so do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes.
So thank you. So now here there is a statement that I want you to read.
I, Elisa Chimana, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as a part of the students' academic work.
Yeah, thank you. So now here are the first question. So what are the three branches of the government?
The branches of the government are executive, legislative, and judicial.
Yeah, thank you. Hi.
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 I'm fine.
So I'm Beatrice. So I have some service that I want to ask you. So as I told you, my name is Beatrice Tushimile. I'm a student at the Bachelor's of Arts program with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. And I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in a deliverable called Government and You. And I'm working on the project called Contribute to Society. So the interview will be used to create Government and You and submit at College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This record will be used solely for this purpose. So the interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online or evaluation system, to which only the evaluator and the College for America staff will have access. So do you have any question?
Hello.
No question?
No.
So do you give your consent to be interviewed and be recorded?
Yes.
So now here is a statement that you need to read before we start asking you questions.
I, Fanny Ishimi, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as a part of the students' academic work.
Yeah, thank you. So now the first question. So what are the three branches of government?
The three branches of government are legislative, executive, and judicial.
Yeah, thank you.
After hearing what the interviewees talk about this question, let me give the correct answer. The first branch of the government is executive, the second is legislative, and the third is judicial. Executive is a branch of the government that is headed by the president. The president is elected by citizens to make the laws official. The president approves and carries out laws passed by the legislative branch. Then, legislative branch is made by two Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives. The most important law of legislative branch is to make laws which are written, discussed, and voted in the Congress. Then, judicial branch is made by Supreme Court and 9 justices. Its important law is to interpret the laws provided by legislative according to the Constitution. It means it proves whether the laws are constitutional or unconstitutional. This information has been given by Truman.
So now here there is the second question. So how does each branch do?
Executive branch enforce the laws. Legislative branch make the laws, and judicial interpret the laws.
Yes. So for the second question, how does each branch do?
Executive, they enforce the laws. Legislative, they make the laws. And judicial, they interpret the laws.
Yeah.
That's what
Thank
I
you.
think.
So after hearing from what the interviewees talk about the second question, let me give the correct answer. Executive, the activities that or the laws that each branch of the government do is that for the executive, its important role is to enforce the laws. The important law of the legislative is to make the laws, and then the judicial is to interpret the laws. So the strongest relationship among those three branches of the government is that legislative makes laws, executive enforce laws, and then judicial interpret these laws constitutionally. It means that the most important relationship among these three branches of the government is that they all have the specific activity they do on the laws. Then let's go to the third question that asks the name of the third party in the United States after Democrats and Republicans.
So now here is the third question. So Democrats and Republicans are the major parties, I mean in US. So can you name the third party?
But I'm not sure, but I think that it's a part of minority people or undermined people.
Yeah. So now the third question asks, Democrats and Republicans are the major parties in US. So can you name the third party?
I think the third party is made of people who are like undermined or called minority people, so they don't appear in the government mostly.
Thank you.
So after hearing what the interviewees talk about this question, let me give the correct answer. So in 1789, the US didn't have a two-party system. George Washington was a president who had no party. During his reign, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson were in competition where Jefferson challenged Adams under the outstanding of Democratic and Republicans. This party kept the presidency from 18th to 820. The third party plays a great role in nation politics of US. They organize and mobilize a single issue position by putting pressure on candidates from major parties to address those issues. Then the second role is that though they are not voted by many people, they can influence the elections by taking away votes from a major party candidate. This formation has been given by boundaries. So it means that the third party in the United States, it's called the minor party or the party made by the minority, those people who are in minority who are not considered. Then the last question asks, what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law? Let's first hear from the interviewees, then I will be coming back to give the correct answers.
So here now there is the last question, which is the fourth one. So it asks, what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law?
A bill becomes a law.
Yes, a bill becomes a law.
Maybe the laws are made by people who are in parliament or senate, people like people who work in the government, like that. I'm not very sure.
Yeah, no problem. So thank you.
Thank you.
So now we are live at the last question. So it asks, what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law?
Oh, to that question I don't know. I really don't know the answer because it seems difficult and it's always changed, so I don't really know what's happening.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So then, after hearing from the interviewees, let me give the correct answer for the fourth question. According to Fact Monster, for a bill to become a law, it requires a process. There is a process in which a bill needs to pass in order to become a law. The first step is that a member of Congress, that is Senate or representatives, introduce the bill. The clerk or Senate give it a number and a title. The second step is that the bill is sent to the committee, which reviews and votes it. Then the committee may allow discussion about the bill to make some changes or not. When the most committee members vote for the bill, it is sent back to the Senate and the House. The debate is guided by the sponsoring committee, and this committee is mostly made by the original members who introduced the bill. Then the third step is that the Senate and the House debate and vote on the bill separately. When it is debated either in the Senate or the House, it dies. It means that when it is defeated in one of those two members, it may not be accepted. If the majority of all Senates and the House vote on it, it goes to the President for the approval. To mean that after all those two parties of the government vote that bill, it is also sent back to the President in order to be approved. Then the President signs the bill to become a law. If the President disapproves or doesn't accept that bill, it cannot become a law. It can maybe be sent back to the previous members in order to be also done. So I think those are the four questions I was responding with my interviewees. I thank you for your kind attention. See you next time.